And what I like about God, God says sometime when you're going through some stuff, I'm not going to send an angel, but I'm coming myself. I'm not going to dispatch Gabriel. I'm not going to dispatch Raphael, but I'm coming myself. I wish I had somebody. Anybody in the midnight hour ever felt God for yourself? You know it was God that was whispering in your ear. You know it was God that was touching your body. You know for a fact it was God that was making a way. Isn't it good to know that God shows up himself? Isn't it good to know that when you're going through, you can look up toward heaven and say, Father, I stretch my hand to thee, no other help that I know. And you know that you're touching the fingertip of God. Well, wait a minute. You know, trust God based on his power. Trust God based on his presence. But then you can trust God based on his provisions. Verse 6, it says, you shall strike the rock, and the water shall come out of the rock. He said to Moses, hit the rock, strike the rock. And what you need, water, is going to come out of the rock. And you know what that says, brothers and sisters? It says to me that he met their physical needs. That means that God is Jehovah Jireh. That God is a provider. And I believe I got some witnesses here that will testify that he will provide. Anybody found out that he is Jehovah Jireh? Is there anybody who's had your back up against the wall? You found out that he is Jehovah Jireh. There have been times when you didn't think that you were going to make it. When there were doors that were closed in your face. But didn't God show up? Didn't God make a way? Didn't God open a door? He is Jehovah Jireh. But wait a minute. Not only did he supply their physical needs, but he also supplied their spiritual needs. Because he struck the rock, and then Paul wrote about that same rock in the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and 4. Paul said that that rock that followed them was really Jesus Christ. In other words, that rock was Epiphany. It was a visible manifestation of the person of Jesus Christ that came in the form of that rock. In other words, when he hit the rock, he just didn't hit a rock, but symbolically he was hitting Jesus himself. Lord, I'm mighty glad that Moses struck that rock, because it was a symbol of the whipping that Jesus took from me, Lord. And that makes me feel mighty good, because when I look at my life, as sinful as I was on my way to a burning hell, wasn't fit to live, wasn't good enough to die. But I'm mighty glad that Jesus took the whipping in my stead. Do I have a witness? Because it should have been me hanging on that cross. It should have been me with nails in my hand. It should have been me with a spear in my side. It should have been me with a crown of thorns on my head. It It should have been me that they whipped all night long. It should have been me that they hung high, stretched wide, and dropped low. Do I have a witness? It should have been me that stood around that cross today and they mocked his name. But can I tell you, I'm mighty glad that Jesus became my substitute. He died. I said he died. He died. I said he died until the sun refused to shine. He died till the moon dripped away in blood. He died until the earth started to reel and rock like a drunken man. He died. Look at somebody and tell him he died just for me. He died just for you. Is there anybody here? You're glad that he became our substitute. He died in our place. He died in our stead. You and I should have went to hell, but he died in our place. You should have been lost, but he died in our place. Do I have a witness? But wait 1 minute before I close. Not only can you trust God because of all he's done for you, but you can also trust God because of his patience. Because have you ever stopped to think about the fact that as wrong as Israel was, the Lord didn't give them what they deserved, because he would have been justified if he had just wiped them out, because they had sinned, because they had questioned God. But watch this. Instead of giving them what they deserved, the Lord was patient with him. And that makes me happy this morning, because when I look at my life, as wrong as I am, I should have been dead, sleeping in my grave. But I'm glad that the Lord was patient with me. Do I have a witness? I don't know about you. I can't speak for you, but I was on my way to hell. But I'm glad he was patient with me. Do I have a witness? When I didn't have good sense enough to serve God, he was still patient with me. Do I have a witness? Can you look at somebody and tell them, the Lord has been patient with me, because I should have been dead, should have gone to hell, but the Lord was patient with me. Tell somebody, I'm so glad he was patient with me. I'm so glad he waited on me. Even when I went the wrong direction, he waited on me. Even when I didn't come to him, he came to me. Do I have a witness here? Even when I turned my back on him, he never turned his back on me. Even when I didn't love the Lord, he still loved me. Do I have a witness here? Can anybody in this place tell the Lord, thank you, Lord. Thank you for waiting on me. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for not killing me while I was in my sin. But thank you for giving me another chance. Touch your neighbor. Tell your neighbor that the only reason I'm here is not because I've been so good, not because I never made a mistake, not because I never did anything wrong, but the only reason I'm still here is because I serve a God of a second chance. I serve a God of another chance. Can you look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, he gave me another chance. He gave me another chance. He gave me another chance. Can you shout yeah?